son of a bitch, I'm just lying. Here we go. 10 seconds, everybody.
10.
Ready to roll, take track,
9,
complete heads, and
8,
open the mics.
7, 6, 5.
Here we go.
4.
Open the mics, ready to roll,
3,
take track.
2, 1.
And roll.
A Fort Drum
Ready to
soldier
change?
has been indicted on murder
Change.
charges.
A North Country
Ready to
judge
change?
is facing allegations of misconduct.
And more details have been released
Ready to
on the
change?
Manhattan terror attack.
Change.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Roll, take track. Ready to come to 2.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Zach Bell.
And I'm Kathleen Haynes.
On key.
Investigators
Ready to
have
roll, take track,
released
gang?
new information about a terror attack in New York yesterday. Omar Jimenez has more.
Roll, take track. Go, mics.
This was the actions of a depraved coward.
Investigators say the suspect in the New York terror attack planned his deadly ride for a number of weeks and was inspired online by ISIS.
He appears to have followed almost exactly to a T
3.
the instructions that ISIS has put out in its social media channels before.
Police say he used a rented truck to plow into people on a bike path. He crashed into a school bus before being shot in the stomach by an NYPD officer and taken into custody.
I started walking in that direction to see what's going on, and I just see all types of police, firefighters, EMS just rushing to that area.
5 of the people killed were from Argentina, celebrating their 30th high school reunion. Another victim was from Belgium.
It was the definition of terrorism, an effort to take away people's hope and spirit and to make them change.
This is the deadliest terror attack in New York since 9/11, and it ended in the shadow of the World Trade Center.
My message to all New Yorkers is do what you do best. Be New Yorkers. Be strong, be proud, be resilient.
Here we go.
Show the whole world right now
7, 6,
that we will not be
5,
moved by terror.
In New York, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Resolve. Kill it.
The investigation is still ongoing.
And take RTS. Take RTS.
A parish man has turned himself into police after being accused of smashing into headstones with his truck at an Oswego County cemetery. 22-year-old Jody J. Stone was charged with 4th-degree criminal mischief and leaving the scene of a property damage incident. Police were called to Pleasantville Lawn Cemetery after several headstones were found to be knocked over and destroyed. Stone was issued an appearance ticket and is scheduled to appear in Parishtown Court on November 14th.
Take it.
A Fort Drum soldier has been indicted. 33-year-old Justin Walters was indicted by a Jefferson County grand jury on 55 counts, including murder, attempted murder, assault, and criminal possession of a weapon. Walters is accused of killing his wife, 27-year-old Nicole Walters, and New York State Trooper Joel Davis at his home in July. Another woman was shot inside the home, but her injuries were non-life-threatening. Walters is being held without bail.
Take it.
A Rochester man has pleaded not guilty to charges after a crash killed his 6-month-old daughter Tuesday night. Police say 33-year-old Isaac McCray was driving east on 104 in Webster when he crossed an access road and hit a tree. Police say they could smell alcohol on the suspect's breath. McCray was driving to pick up his wife from work after taking his 3 children trick-or-treating. He faces charges of DWI, vehicular manslaughter, unlawful possession of marijuana, unlicensed operation, and multiple other traffic violations.
Take it.
One of the best parts of fall is the color changing of the leaves, and as Renee Dunn explains, some students are very excited for the opportunities autumn brings to see the beauty of the SUNY Oswego campus.
Take it. Well,
Strong leaf colors are being expected for
Zach,
several
push
sections
the
of
chair out of
Jefferson,
the shot.
St. Lawrence,
52,
and Oswego
yeah,
counties
Keith.
this week.
Thank you.
According to ilovenewyork.com, the Thousand Island Seaway region of New York, which includes Oswego County, will experience 80 to nearly 100% leaf change and peak foliage this week, which has seen an increase in color over the past few days. Oaks, maples, sweet gums, and more are painted with bright shades of red, yellow, and orange, while fewer areas of muted green, orange, and purple remain. For the students of SUNY Oswego, this gorgeous change in foliage brings about many opportunities to explore all of the beauty this campus has to offer. Meteorology student and co-president of SUNY Oswego's Outdoors Club, Zach Butler, spoke about the trips the club takes following the change in foliage.
The Adirondacks start first, so we get a jump start a few weeks ago in the Adirondack to see the peak. Now we're in the central New York region, kind of just drift the leaves to just chase the peak colors for the best hikes for our club members. I'm planning actually a trip to the Adirondacks following after this weekend. It'll be past peak, but still,
30 seconds.
it's always nice to get out there.
Bryce Creek is one of the most unique parts of the SUNY Oswego campus. Students can walk through a variety of nature trails that offer wonderful opportunities to watch the changing seasons. However, during cold, windy days like today, there's still so much to see and so much to learn at the Field Station's wildlife exhibits. If you'd like to visit Bryce Creek, the Field Station is located at 89 Thompson Road. For WTOP 10 News, I'm Renee Gunn.
Open the mics.
Other areas of New York, such as Long Island, are still
3 ROTS.
experiencing color change and are expected to reach their peak later in the month.
Take it.
2 justices from the town of Richland are recusing themselves from a case involving
ROTS.
Oswego County legislator Sean Doyle. Last week, Doyle and John James Maroney, a school counselor, were charged with endangering the welfare of a child. The investigation began when the parents of a 15-year-old boy suspected an inappropriate relationship between the child and the 2 suspects. Doyle represents Oswego's 3rd district, which includes Richland areas. Town Justice James Ridgway and Justice Judy Conger stated today that they are recusing themselves from the case to avoid bias.
A father and daughter from Manlius were struck by a vehicle while trick-or-treating around 6 p.m. According to police, the 45-year-old man and his 5-year-old daughter were taken to Upstate Hospital, where both are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The driver, a man in his 50s, told police he did not see the father and daughter due to their dark outfits, low lighting, and poor road conditions. He has not been cited for any violations.
Take it.
A North Country judge is accused of having inappropriate sexual relations with a defendant. Defectives say Town of Watertown Justice Andrew Capone has been charged with official misconduct. Deputies say the defendant had criminal proceedings taken place at the court when the incident occurred. Capone was issued an appearance ticket to answer the charge in Watertown Court later this month. He could face up to a year in prison and a fine if convicted.
Take it, Whitmore.
Coming up later tonight, the CIA has released the Journal of Osama bin Laden.
And President Trump is critical of the justice system.
But before we go to break, let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Lucas Riley.
Take one weather.
Thanks, Zach. And once it started raining today, it just did not want to stop. Fortunately, we're seeing some clearing as of right now, but that won't last too long. Most of these showers making their way through the rest of New York State. Some heavy to moderate showers skimming Fulton right now. And these rain showers have also kept us rather cool throughout the day. You can see as of right now, lower 40s for most of New York State, including us here in Oswego. Will this trend continue on into the next few days? I'll have more on that coming up later on, but as for now, I'm going to toss it to break. Stay tuned, we got more weather coming up right next.
We'll take check beat. Good job, everybody. That's a good headline. Get the open ready, thank you.
Nice job.
Hey yo, it's your boy, Dan Ryan, proud crew member of WTOP 10. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, we had to use it. We had to use it.
It's a problem. And we are going to take weather when this is
Minute 30.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k
Bottom
statement.
nothing, Astros.
Where'd you find the money for that? I just been saving a little every month. I can't seem to save
there
any.
goes my bet.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for it.
Granted, I only bet on the
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 5:47.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Money into it.
Minute left,
Minute.
right? 1 minute.
Minute left.
Who the hell is that guy?
Who are these people?
Is that Casper the ghost looking ass?
It's fucking Fred.
Syracuse sweatshirt.
It's fucking Fred. That's
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn, I was in the
45.
45.
Already?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Look how happy my talent was.
Oh my god.
Zach looks dead.
He's like, what the fuck is that?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh, of course, as soon as I put it in gradient.
He looks so angry right now. That was funny.
15 seconds?
15 guys. Ready to
15 back.
warm weather. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
we'll take Jack open. We already won.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Lucas Riley. And our temperatures have been rather cool as of late. You can see we have our almanac up right now. Our average for this time of year is around 53 degrees, so we've been ballparking it as late, but we will be exceeding that as we head on into the near future. As for right now, you can see Fulton experiencing some light rain showers, cool 43 degrees, and southeast wind at about 6 miles per hour. Pretty much the same story over in Syracuse, also seeing those rain showers and those cool conditions, currently hanging out around 41 degrees. We already showed our radar and satellite earlier, but here we go again. You can see these rain showers making their way through the state, some clearing here in Oswego as of right now. It's probably going to change as we head on through the evening, but if we zoom out here, we can show you exactly what's causing this rain shower. Kind of a wonky looking warm front down here, bringing all this rain to us, and it's going to be persisting on through the next few days. We can say goodbye to this high pressure system that has been keeping our skies clear and that sun shining for most of the past few weeks. It looks like it's finally on its way out. As for tonight's forecast, we'll be seeing some scattered showers as we progress on into the latter part of the night. 44 degrees will bottom out at, and a nice wind at about 7 to 12 miles per hour out of the south. And now we can bring you through our futurecast, where we're going to overlay the wind speeds. For those of you that thought the wind might be dying down from what we saw in the past few days with those strong gusts on the lakeshore, not quite the case. Thursday, tomorrow morning around 8 a.m., nice and windy here on the lakeshore. We'll probably be seeing gusts up in the 30s once again, so make sure you do hold on to your hat if you are going to be wearing one tomorrow. Fortunately, we can clear out as we head on into the evening. Just some clouds hanging around for your dinner time on Thursday. And then pretty much the same story on Friday once again. Those winds will be strong in the morning time for your morning commute, as well as some strong rain showers will be making their way through our region. But again, as we head on into Friday evening, those clouds clear out, as well as the rain. Hopefully we'll see some sun.
It's just because of the forecast it's predicting.
Won't be the warmest of days, but nonetheless, we can take a break from the rain for them. So as for tomorrow, we'll be seeing those scattered showers roll throughout the day. Pretty brisk winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour rather, throughout the day, with gusts getting up into the 30s, as I mentioned before. As for tomorrow night, those rain showers will subside. We'll see temperatures get down to about 55 degrees, and that wind will persist out of the south about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And now some people's favorite time of the year is coming up. Daylight saving time is on its way this Sunday. We're going to be turning back those clocks at 2 a.m. Smartphones will update automatically. Most people don't have to worry about this. We will be getting that extra hour of sleep. Do make the most of it. It is always valuable to get that extra hour of sleep, especially when you're hitting the school time. 7-day forecast here. We got rain on Thursday, rain on Friday, a little bit of a break on Saturday, but then as we push into our latter part of the weekend, Sunday, we'll be seeing those rain showers continue. And then your voting day on Tuesday, looks like we'll see some sun. Do stay tuned, we have more news and sports coming up after the break.
Who's the bug?
They told me a bottle couldn't dream.
Good job.
That I would never become a superhero.
Alright, we are coming back to...
He went a little over, but
I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero I've always wanted to be.
Guys, they're welcoming back.
No.
There's no welcome back, it's just...
Wait a minute, 30.
Yeah.
Okay. She welcomes... Yeah, for some reason.
he welcomes. I forgot to delete that.
Yeah, for some reason my rundown says a welcome back.
I forgot to delete it, so
Once he welcomes back, then put in... Alright, so I'll have 15?
Minute 15.
Oh, we're very low.
So, it's not gonna come up right away, she's gonna see him. Yep, after you welcome back. Alright, so for everyone else, everything else is still the same, she's just peeing. Got it.
Let's do it with me for the same locker. No. Also, how about everyone get a one shot?
It's 5-0.
I don't like it when I'm not going to
Guys.
Yeah, they are.
That's Shelby.
I'm not even gonna lie.
New set.
New time.
News at 9.
News, Sunday through Thursday, only on WTOP 10.
I hate how
French 30 seconds.
New set.
30 seconds.
It's like a kiss.
No time.
Who's that fucker?
Who's that guy? That's my story. Alright, here we go.
15.
Ready to see it? That works fast.
10, 9,
8, 7,
6, 5, 4,
Open the mic.
2,
1. Take LOTS.
Come back to WTOP10
What is that?
News. President Trump has responded to the Manhattan terrorist attack by calling for quick and strong justice for terrorists and calling the way the United States punishes terrorists a laughingstock. President Trump went on to say that the United States must come up with punishments far quicker and greater. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders stated the president was
Huckabee Sanders for next time.
with the lengthy process that comes with these types
Huckabee
of
Sanders. It's Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
The NYPD has identified the final 2 victims of the terror attack in New York on Tuesday. 32-year-old Darren Drake of New Milford, New Jersey, and 23-year-old Nicholas Cleves of New York were identified by a source with knowledge of the investigation. They joined 6 international victims, 5 from Argentina celebrating the 13th anniversary of their high school graduation, and a 31-year-old mother of 2 from Belgium. Multiple other victims are recovering at a local hospital.
A SWAT team in Riverside, California killed a father who held a teacher hostage for over 7 hours at a local elementary school. Police responded to Castleview Elementary at 11 a.m. Tuesday morning after receiving reports that first-grade teacher Linda Montgomery was being held hostage in her classroom. The students were evacuated and officials have canceled class for the remainder of the week. The name of the father has yet to be released, but he has been identified as the parent of a young girl who attended the school.
The personal journal of Osama bin Laden is one of the items released by the CIA today. This comes from a large percentage of files found from the raid in 2011 that have now been released to the public. The release came after a 2014 appropriations bill which required the Director of National Intelligence to review the documents obtained by the raid and make appropriate ones available to the public. The journal is said to provide insight into the plans and inner workings of the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda.
Former Catalonian leader Carles Puigdemont is facing criticism after fleeing to Belgium despite facing criminal accusations in Spain. Puigdemont is one of 6 members of the Parliamentary Speakers Committee who will be interrogated by the Spanish Supreme Court regarding alleged misuse of public funds. Puigdemont's attorney said that his client will wait until further action by Spanish authorities is pursued until he returns to Spain. All those facing charges could be arrested by Spanish prosecutors if they fail to appear in court on Thursday.
A Wisconsin mother is facing a felony charge of endangering safety after strapping her 9-year-old son to the top of her minivan. A bystander spotted the incident and called 911. Terry Satter has the story.
Minute 15.
The child on the top of the thing like holding a plastic pool.
This is the street where a 911 caller says she saw 28-year-old Amber Schmunk driving her minivan with a little boy on top, pulling down a plastic pool.
Started bicycling and she got the board off the top of the car with the pool. So I don't know what she's doing.
The 911 caller says she followed the mother in the minivan here to this corner at Chiswell and Colonial in Saukville. She says the mother then took her son and the pool from the top of the van.
According to the criminal complaint, when a Saukville police officer confronted the mother last month, she told the officer that she believed it was okay, as her father let her do things like that when she was that age. She stated that she had her 9-year-old son riding on top of the minivan, but only for a short time, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and that she had done it because she had no way to strap the pool down. So she had her son climb up on the roof and hold it down while she drove.
I just couldn't believe I saw that.
I understand your concerns. 10,
9, the mother is scheduled to appear in Ozaukee County Court next month. In Saukville, Terry Sater, WISN 12 News.
The mother faces up to 10 years behind bars.
Take it. Coming up in sports, Ryan Berger will give you the highlights from Game 6 of the World Series.
You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Roll the track. Alright, sports open ready? Sports ready, and that's steady on the screen. That's never coming out. The key is never coming out. Yep. Yeah, it's okay.
So we are the sport right now, so we're going to be doing some banter at the end.
So we're going to slowly fade out.
Be ready, okay?
Minute 30.
Video packaging on to the last 2 blocks. Do we have the other thirds for these stories? Nothing?
Two over there real quick. Type in, yeah, that one.
Wake up with morning news every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Minute.
For New York Giants.
1 minute. I know the spirit of defense. Say the name of Arbor and raise thy ages.
All right. Ages. No.
No, we're only 3 minutes. Everybody stop. No. Listen, there's goblins behind us, and I am a 20 HP wizard with squishy, and I want to fight both goblins and like some vine thing. Listen, I got health potions. Health potions don't matter when you're dead.
Guys, give me just
yeah.
We don't have a lot of time. They're gonna come over.
I still love that promo.
30.
A-Trade.
30 seconds.
Want to watch a movie?
I still love that fucking promo.
Go to WTOP10.com and select Movies on Demand. You can find some of your old favorites and some new ones too.
Okay.
And it's free on campus. Watch and enjoy.
Give me a 10 one.
Make sure it's open is all.
Yeah, I got it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ready to roll, take track the open.
4, 3, 2,
1. Rotate track it. And ready to dissolve it out. And dissolve to it. Slowly dissolve it out.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 News. I'm Ryan Berger here with your sports update. A nightmare season for the New York Giants continues, for once this time a self-inflicted wound instead of being the NFC's punching bag. Cornerback Janoris Jenkins is suspended indefinitely by the team after failing to show up to team meetings after the bye week. This is the second straight time a Giants starting cornerback is to be reprimanded after Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was sent home after an argument with head coach Ben McAdoo. At 1-6 in a matchup with the Red Hot Rams, things don't appear to be getting any better for Big Blue. This offseason, the Buffalo Bills treated the Carolina Panthers like their farm system, and that trend continued in a big way. Yesterday evening, the Bills swung a trade right at the deadline to send a 2018 third and 7th round pick for wide receiver Kelvin Benjamin. The former first-team All-American at Florida State will now catch passes from Tyrod Taylor. Benjamin now reunited with head coach Sean McDermott and general manager Brandon Beane. Benjamin is expected to be ready to suit up on a short week against the Jets on Thursday Night Football. Game 7 of the World Series is tonight in Los Angeles. Trade deadline acquisition Yu Darvish will toe the rubber for the Dodgers. Lance McCullers will get the start for the Astros. Here's what McCullers had to say after receiving the honor this morning.
Will they track it?
It was a possibility coming into the series.
Back to 3.
You know, AJ scheduled me for 3 coming in. You know, for a reason. I think they have a lot of confidence in me. You know, this series was destined to go 7 pretty much the whole time. I think we have 2 great teams here.
At 24 years old, McCullers is the youngest Game 7 starter in 15 years since John Lackey got the win for the Angels in 2002. We'll have highlights from Game 6 in a moment, but first, look now. The New York Knicks on a 3-game win streak. Here they are against the Denver Nuggets. They're on a second game of a back-to-back, and this game belonged to Porzingis there on the low block. Turnaround jumper is good. 22 points in the first half for Porzingis. That's a 22-point lead for the New York Knicks, but Denver Nuggets storming back. Here's Nikola Jokic getting the steal in transition. Wilson Chandler, good ball movement. And Garrett Harris finishes possession with a 3 in the corner. Hockey assist for Jokic. Only 2 assists on the night for a guy who's a good passer, but you don't need assists when you can do that. Long ball is good for Jokic. He had 28 points on the night. Here the Knicks in transition. Here's that other big man who had a good night. There's Kristaps Porzingis flying high like a witch on a broom on Halloween. Gives the Knicks a tight lead, and now Tim Hardaway Jr. in transition. He hits a 3-ball, gives the New York Knicks a 4-point lead, and when you hit shots like that, you can dance like this. And now to ice the game, 7-point lead, Porzingis down low. Great defense by Millsap. Better offense, though. Kristaps, career high 38 points to go along with 7 rebounds. Knicks hold on to win 116 to 110. A 3-game win streak for the Knicks. Looking pretty good right now. And as promised, we're going to get to those highlights. The World Series, too good to end in 6. That's why we get Game 7 tonight. Let's take a look at how we got here.
Roll take.
Dodgers at home. No advantage because of the All-Star game anymore. George Springer, the Game 5 hero. Safe to say he hasn't calmed down since that Game 5 win. Puig takes a look at it. He can't get to it. 1-0 Astros. Justin Verlander, he got his only loss of the postseason so far off the Dodgers, and you think he's mad about that? There he blows by Logan Forsythe. Couple strikeouts, 9 on the night, 3 hits, only 6 innings though. Here's a big reason why. Taylor hits the right field gapper to send them in front, ties the game there. Everyone is safe. And we're not at 1. Later on in the 6th, Verlander to Peterson here at the wall. And it'll be a tough out, a long out, but Chase Utley around to score. It'll be enough to get him home. Dodgers move out in front, 2-1. And now Jock Peterson, take a look. You won't see it for now. Off is Joe Musgrove coming out of the bullpen, and that gives the Dodgers a commanding 3-1 lead. And how about the best 2 words in sports, ladies and gentlemen? Kenley Jansen on for the 7th, and he says Game 7 will be tonight. Dodgers force a winner-take-all match tonight, ensuring that this series gets the ending that it deserves. Dodgers take Game 6 3-1. And boy, it is a rout right now in Game 7. 5-0 by the Astros early. Yu Darvish already pulled, guys.
Well, like you mentioned, what a series it has been, and the fact that it went to Game 7 just speaks for the fact that this series was indeed too good enough to end in 6 games or less. And back to your point with Kelvin Benjamin in Buffalo, I will be on the road tomorrow, leaving in the morning, going to New York to watch that Thursday night game against the Jets. Very excited to see what he does for us. Me and Ryan were talking off air. He does got a bit of weight on him, and he's a bigger wide receiver, but the Bills have no one. If you're not a very huge NFL fan, I bet you couldn't even name one wide receiver on the Bills. So as a fan, very much looking forward to it, Ryan. And we'll let you know what happens next week on Monday. OSU will have the coverage of that game as well.
And well, Lucas, what about that weather? Is this rain ever going to end?
Doesn't look like in the near future, but we will get a brief clearing before we see some more rain on the way tonight. But the next few days, as well as the weekend, looks like rain is just going to really take over our forecast. Our temperatures are going to cool down a little bit. We'll have a few days in the 60s, but it will be raining. So we have to take it all with a grain of salt. We had some beautiful days in October. It's nice to come back to the seasonal weather, that fall feel right back into it.
I'll tell you what's not nice, almost flying away on my way to the car. Today I'm walking to the car, blinded, my eyes are tearing up, and then I just started thinking, if I was wearing a cape right now, I could just fly to my car, I'd get to the door, and I'd be on my way. Instead I had to brave the air, or the wind rather, walk right through it.
So, have you ever seen The Incredibles?
I have seen The Incredibles. By the way, Incredibles 2 coming out soon. I will be.
I was an Incredible for Halloween.
Were you really? Well, you're an incredible actress. I know. That's why she was an incredible superhero for Halloween. Well, that will do it. That's our report. Be sure to stay tuned to Fantasy Factor at 10 o'clock.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everyone.
Lose bug, roll, take track.
Good job, good job.
There really is no other place like Oswego.
When I came here, I felt instant